Hello and welcome back to another episode of Horror Hot Takes.
Absolutely.
Where not only do I know what you did last week, but I know what you did last summer.
Oh.
The new and improved, well...
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
We'll see. My name is Rufkin.
And I'm Dawn.
And I'm Jerica.
And we're just delighted to be back with you all. Can't wait to get into our hot takes for what this movie is. But I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over to Jerica, who has a very special hot take.
I do. Okay, so I just wanted to share this hot take from Jared is Bored. He shared his hot take for Final Destination 3, even though we reviewed last time Final Destination Bloodlines.
What did he have to say?
So
excited.
Yes, his hot take was the roller coaster crash in Final Destination 3 wouldn't have happened because Frankie got off with his camera and it was integral to the crash in the first place.
Ooh.
Nope, that's right. No, I didn't even think of that when I rewatched all the Final Destination movies. And where was that?
TikTok.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, if anybody else has some hot takes they want to share, you can find us mostly everywhere, audio-wise, everywhere you get your podcasts. We're over on YouTube if you want to see our little faces. Plus, we're putting up all our favorite clips on TikTok.
Short videos.
We want to hear about your hot takes. Like, that's so awesome. Thank you, Jared is Bored.
Yeah.
We hope you're a little less bored now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So, thinking of Jared is Bored had a really great hot take. What is the hot take that y'all have from I Know What You Did Last Summer?
2025 edition.
I know.
Okay, I've got mine. Are y'all ready? Okay. So my hot take is it was a fun romp, but the movie franchise kind of routinely faces kind of a class struggle. And so with this movie not having the bite of actually commenting on that class structure, for me it felt a little tone deaf. Like hopefully most of us are in a better place as far as understanding how we relate to living in a society. And you combine that with, for me personally, the kind of queer baiting nature of Ava and Tyler having this relationship that was like, oh, look on screen, hey, I'm excited. And then they're like, let's kill Tyler immediately and punish her for not having sex with dudes. And I was like, well, that makes me feel sad inside for different reasons. So that's my hot take. I was like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, meh.
Class struggle.
Yeah. I mean, talk about it. More so than ever.
Yeah.
What about you, Jerica?
Okay, so my hot take is, so Julie is a part of the original, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and so Ava, I feel like, took on that role in this movie. So that's my hot take, is that going forward, Ava's going to be the new Julie.
We got Julie 2.0, huh?
Yes, yeah, and she's going to be the one that is going to always, make it. Yeah. She will never die.
She's final girling.
Yeah,
she's final girling so hard.
Right.
So mine is actually a little bit different, and it's going to bring up another movie, but I really just believe that this movie wanted to be Scream. That's my hot take, is that essentially they wanted to redo the Scream franchise, but just put it under a different name. So I feel like
that's not too far off. I mean, that's where we got not final. Now I'm in a different time frame, but that's where we got I Know What You Did Last Summer, as it came from the makers of Scream, even to the point of big spoiler alert for both Scream and the new I Know What You Did Last Summer movie. There's got to be a faster way to say that, right?
I know.
But
acronyms.
Two killers, two killers.
Yeah.
Because we were all sitting there in the theater and we were like, there's no way that Stevie was picking up Mr. Biracial King, Nepo baby, and throwing him around. There's no way.
Oh, yeah. I know.
And then, no, there wasn't a way because, sorry, Freddie Prinze Jr., you're the bad guy now. I guess we'll get into it, but
we will.
I am with you, my friend. Yeah. I agree, Rufkin.
I think that's the biggest flaw of the movie, is that it was trying to be another movie, in my opinion. So
I see.
So I did some research on the director, Jennifer Caton Robinson. And she is very much a child of the 90s. She grew up on Scream, on I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like, she cites those heavily as being like a series that was very formational and foundational to like her childhood.
Gotcha.
So I resonated with that deeply because like I got into Stephen King way too young. I saw Pet Sematary way too young.
Love Stephen King.
And yeah, so I definitely like she's a horror girly at heart, and I love that for her. I hadn't heard of her before, but one of her early movies is on my radar. So I'm very interested in diving a little bit more into her filmography. This was, like I said, her very first theatrical movie debut.
How cool.
So like her second movie was Do Revenge, which is on streaming platforms. So I'm excited to check that out because I know that movie in particular has been kind of on my radar. That was one I wanted to check out. So definitely a director that we want to keep our eyes on, whether or not we had hot takes about this one.
Well, I think what, kind of talking about the director and looking at whether it's Scream or looking at I Know What You Did Last Summer, one of the cool pieces with that, though, is the nostalgic factor. And it goes to show, and I think very similarly to this movie, it goes to show how so much of what we do in the past gets replicated in the future. And that's kind of transitioning from movie to movie to movie to movie. And so when you see I Know What You Did Last Summer and you have this nostalgic factor, and I think the fact that you had Julie, you had all of the original, well, not all of them, but majority of the original
even
cast,
some that died.
which was impressive.
Dude, the fact that they kept that under wraps, that Sarah Michelle Gellar was in the movie.
Yeah.
Because like even all the press that I was reading from them like doing the press junket, like she didn't appear in any of the interviews. And she's married to Freddie Prinze Jr. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like talk
I didn't
about
know that either.
90s nostalgia deep dive. You're like,
Crazy.
yeah, they're just like besties and married and having like their fairy tale ending. And apparently, one of the things I came across, which is just kind of a fun share, is Sarah Michelle Gellar is a big talker in movies, and like she as Freddie Prinze Jr. said, like basically has ruined movies for a few people because she's just like just very auditorily processing everything that's happening.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cute.
I just think it's cool, like that the director is paying homage to that, and it's not trying to wipe over that.
Yeah. Well,
It's
she had to
trying
work really hard to get Sarah Michelle Gellar in that movie.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
But she's trying to bring the nostalgic, but keep it relevant with what today is kind of happening. And I think that kind of homage really helps kind of tie in like, okay, these are two separate movies, although they're the same thing.
Yeah, it's very much a continuation, not entirely a reboot.
Right.
Because like those OG characters are in there. Because I don't know about y'all. Did y'all see the original 1997?
Yes, long time ago.
In the same boat, I'm not gonna lie, I was a huge crush on Jennifer Love Hewitt. Like,
Same.
Yes. So
I definitely I had to go and rewatch it, and as I'm rewatching it, I was like, oh, I've forgotten all of this movie. And I know I saw it in the theater.
the original the original cast was really cool. In '97, it was kind of a unique-ish horror film.
It really was, yeah. And it kind of really launched the careers of Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Phillippe. I don't know. Felipe, I don't listen.
Look.
I didn't go for the boy
no one's
heart
judging.
drops.
He
No
was
one's
in
judging.
Cruel Intentions, which is another.
He was also in what was that TV show that was about Montana? It was like Blue Sky or Big Sky.
Nope, you lost.
My spouse and I were watching it, and they like bill him as like top bill, and then spoiler alert: please tune away now if you want to watch it. And they kill him within 5 minutes. We were like, what on earth has happened in this show? But yeah. But anyway, yeah. And then Freddie Prinze Jr. Yeah. So, and like they were like legit like 18 when they filmed it. Like I was watching it, I was like, these are babies. These are little babies.
Yeah, it's wild to throw out a little fun fact too of like watching Beverly Hills 90210.
I did not watch that.
Okay, so
sorry.
No.
Jennifer Love Hewitt was in.
I saw that in my
kid,
research.
So it was kind of cool to watch.
I love how
that
Jennifer is
discography.
still in the thunder
She's
here.
still in the
She's still
game.
in the whole spot.
Yeah, I mean, she's
Yeah.
she's still alive too.
Yeah,
and I
she
think
is.
that's the end of the movie sets it up for an even more fun.
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Did y'all, so in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, which is the second movie that came back in like 98. So she stars in it with Brandy, which is like her college roommate or whatever.
yeah.
I didn't watch that one. I'm not going to lie. I didn't have enough time. Life is complicated. But I do want to watch it somewhere or sometime. And so like at the end of the movie, that's kind of what you get is like that like post-credit scene where they're like, oh my gosh, like he's coming for us. And she's like, ride or die, let's go.
Yeah.
So they really set it up to where there could be like
Multiple.
a sequel
I
and they could
loved
launch
that
it,
ending.
launch it back.
Yeah.
You did?
I did.
I
I
was
really
like-
enjoyed that.
I don't remember this lady.
I
Because
know.
it's so long ago.
It is. Yeah, when they brought the OGs back, man, it got real. It was-
Yeah.
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 So how many characters were in this one?
Okay, so I
So
made
we
a
have-
list because
we
I got
have
lost.
Ava and Milo.
Yeah.
We have Danica and Teddy.
Yes.
Teddy's the instigator on most things.
Yes. And then
Stevie.
who was kind of again
yeah.
class war here.
Right. Old friend, but kind of comes back into the group friend group, my God.
What was Danica's?
Oh, her Wyatt.
Second-
Wyatt
Wyatt.
was her second fiance.
Okay.
She burning through fiancés.
Yeah.
But sometimes,
If she
Sometimes
can
you
keep the
gotta
rings, that's makes
I'm
some
glad we all
money.
agree that she moved on a little too quickly there.
well,
many
trauma's
times.
hard. Trauma's
Yeah.
hard.
It is.
Trauma bonds are strong but not stable. And
It's just interesting though because it was like a year difference.
Yeah.
like that's
And she's already
she
engaged again.
They had an engagement party, and then you come back and you're like, what the hell? Oh, there's.
I was like, are they getting married? Who's that guy? Yep.
Yeah.
And then Zach Cooper was the guy that they hit and knocked like off the cliff. What's interesting is
That was the pastor's partner, right?
I can't remember. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just
mean,
know he was
Sam-
affiliated
Yeah,
with
Sam
them.
had Pastor.
Judah,
Pastor
Pastor
Judah.
Judah,
Pastor Judah and
but
it was Cooper, right?
yeah
Together.
And I guess Stevie was like cared a lot about Cooper. Was she
Correct.
like into him? Like they were dating? I
See,
couldn't
that's the interesting
tell.
piece because I mean I don't know what y'all's thoughts are, but there wasn't really an underlying like
Why?
why.
Mhm.
Like you're
Just
you're
like
about
I
to
cared about him a lot.
right.
Okay.
But you're
But
about to
kill all of your friends.
Yeah. So, but see, that's the thing is like where my hot take comes in again is it's a class issue. Like you have the fishing wharf people, and like I started to get an inkling that it was going to be fishing wharf people against others because like at that town hall, they just randomly have a bunch of dudes that I guess when they did the casting call, they were like, if you look like you could fish, come here, come here. And then they just put them all at the back. And you're like, bunch of people we don't know that look like fishermen. Got it. Because like, obviously the killer's been the fisherman.
right.
Right. With the slicker.
Yeah, with that slicker, man.
Look, I'm just throwing it out there. The outfit is pretty iconic.
It is iconic. And it like, lighting that costume is like, you can do so much with the shadows and everything like that.
I think that's one of the interesting dynamics, though, about this film, and it kind of goes into one of the big questions that I have, which is, at what point in the movie did you think you figured out who the killer was?
Oh, woof.
I thought I'm just gonna go.
Yeah, you go.
I really thought it was Judah. I did.
You thought it was
Yeah.
Judah?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was Pastor Judah because I thought that was Cooper was his partner and he was seeking revenge because it makes more sense than it does Stevie.
Yeah.
You know, to be a part of it. But then when they kind of like started talking about how it was Stevie and then that kind of happened, I was like, no, there's no way. So
the
then I
part
was
with-
lost.
The part with Judah and his eyes being torn out of his face.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The
in
overkill.
the church, I was
Yeah.
just like, but then that.
What a
so
scene.
here's the question:
Was
that,
it Stevie or was it Ray? Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
And then I
it had to have been Ray.
But then
it had to have been
yeah,
Ray.
That's the crazy part though. Is like what's Ray's true motive for all this?
Trauma.
No, yes. yes. Because he and Julie were the survivors of the 1997 attack. But see, when you look at it, so Julie and Ray were dating for a while. They had the trauma bond, like they had kind of broken up, but then they got back together by the end of the first movie. But then they drifted apart again because Ray was always part of the fishing community and Julie went on to like an Ivy League school. Now she's a professor, but she's still very much living with this trauma, but she's actively trying to heal. And I think there was like a line in the movie that was like, somebody's always trying to kill that lady. I hope she's going to therapy. And like facts.
True.
But like Ray, I mean, he was a fisherman as a teenager.
Right.
And then just stayed within that community, even though he ends up like running a bar, whether or not that's because his body is just like, I mean, as a fellow 40-something-year-old, I could not fish. I simply could not.
Dawn, you could totally fish.
I love fishing.
Thank you. I would catch me a little perch.
Oh.
And then put it back because I didn't really want to eat it.
Wow. Put it in your aquarium.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
I think that is the interesting thing to think about. You know, it goes back to your class.
Yeah. No, exactly. Because Julie left, like her career took her out, and all he had was fishing in that community. Because like I think in the first movie, like we find out like he didn't really know his dad. He just knew his dad was a fisherman. So like he didn't have the same support network, the same resources that Julie did to kind of get out and get away.
Yeah.
And so like, you know that kind of had to fester and build. And then apparently he knew Stevie's dad. And then when Stevie's dad apparently took all of his daughter's like college money and left the family, he apparently stopped by and was like, hey, Ray, can you like look at my daughter and check on her? Like, I mean, what was that conversation?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to abandon my family, bro. Could you look out for them? And like, to Ray's credit, he's like, yeah, I'll look out for your kid. And he kept that promise. That's not an easy promise to make.
No.
I would have been like, why don't you maybe do that? That's your kid. But I mean, to his credit, he did that. But like, then you just have two people hurting that are in a lower class situation because she's just working at Ray's bar.
Yeah.
And then it's hard to say like how Ray felt about Pastor Judah and like that cult, like church, because that was like the one differing thing that Stevie had that he didn't.
Correct.
Is she got into that kind of world. So maybe there was something weird going on at that church that enabled her wounds and her trauma to fester enough to lead to murder when she found out, oh, this is actually, we killed my friend or significant other or fellow
someone
cult
very
member.
important to her.
Yeah. And it just, your earlier question about when did you figure it out, or
Yes. Yeah.
whoever asked it, I feel like I've slept since then. I don't know. But I didn't suspect Judah because they pointed at him too hard. Like they leaned into him too hard and it was like, well, he's creepy AF, but this is who they want us to suspect, which means it can't be him.
It can't be him.
So it took me a while to figure it out, like who it was, but I was like, it's not going to be him.
Right.
Because he's so creepy.
Right.
He's like basically a neon sign of I did it, which means he didn't do it. He probably did something else heinous.
Yeah.
Like you don't get your eyes gouged out for nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's why I feel like it was Ray that did it. And like, as revenge for
Something
potentially
he did
him
to-
doing something to Stevie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like pulling her away. But then to me, the big question is, so like you have these two individuals that have so much trauma and so much pain, and they're like in this lower class struggle with a town that's reinventing itself and pushing the fishing community out, even though that's the backbone of this town.
Right.
Period. So they already feel like they're on the fringe, blah, 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 blah. The other fishermen didn't turn into killers.
Yeah.
So why? Why? Because like, if Stevie's like, I'm so angry, this happened, I'm so angry. You can be angry, but why do you want to kill everybody but Ava?
Correct.
Because like she's like, I want Ava to be okay. Because like when the fisherman comes in and is trying to kill Tyler, like he drops literally
A cage
onto Ava and is like, you're protected. Like that's what it screamed to me, is you're protected.
How
now whether it's to
interesting.
come get you later or not.
Yeah.
So that one could have been Stevie.
Yeah, so why was
Potentially.
Ava she was a special person?
Because she was the one that was like, no, we should tell the police. No, we should try to help him. No, we should. Like, she fought back. And they basically were like, you have to, which is exactly like almost beat for beat what happened in the 1997 movie with Julie James.
Yeah.
She was the one that was like, no, we need to, because like she was studying to be a lawyer at the time, I guess, or was going to be studying. She was in high school.
See, Ava's the new Julie.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm telling you,
Look
my
who's right.
That is
Look who's
super
right.
good.
Yeah.
But like it's one of those things that there are so many like beat for beat for beat for beat of what had happened, except there's two killers, not one.
Right.
But I'm still like, why? Why would that push them over the edge?
Yeah, I mean,
What was yours, Rufkin? Did you?
I'm not gonna lie. The brash introduction of Tyler
Oh.
kind of
It was
it was one of those where you're like, oh, okay, cool. Wait, whoa, like okay.
She even had her own podcast.
Yeah.
Live, laugh,
oh
slaughter.
I've got a lot to say about that podcast.
Yeah.
But I think that was one of the things where, like you see the original people and you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then all of a sudden, this new person that's so heavily invested in what happened here, what's going on, and then
And is driving for answers.
and they're just happen to be next to each other on the plane, you
Yeah.
know, like that. I mean, that was a good meet cute where
Yeah.
you get to see like, oh, okay, this is a good introduction that now segues into why they would,
Right.
meet more or be more comfortable talking to each other. But yeah, Tyler was, and that quickly got destroyed. So
Yeah.
well,
How many minutes in? Like maybe like 10,
Not
15?
Because she was, I think,
If that.
wasn't she the first one that died?
Yeah. No.
What?
no, Sam was.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong.
You know what? Since that kind of segues into my next question, just really quickly. So in the beginning of the movie, Sam, he died. He was the one that was in the truck. So if you were there,
Oh, I thought it was Zach. My bad.
oh,
Some dude.
Zac
Some
Efron,
dude.
I
some
don't
guy. But if you were there, what would you do? Would you run or would you confess?
That's like, I think what makes that movie franchise so alluring is it's like, what if, especially as you sit and your entire life expands in front of you, right? And one wrong moment, or being with your friend whose other friend is just not your jam, but like, it's hard to be like, I don't want to be around this person that is, kind of a jerk. And it's one wrong moment, and then suddenly you have to make a choice immediately that has life-altering implications.
Yeah.
And you're in the minority by saying, this is wrong. We should do XYZ. And no one else agrees with you. That would be so hard. I mean, I want to say that I would be like, no, we have to call the police.
Right.
And I want to say that I would have the fortitude to be like, we have to, and then give them a bunch of reasons why we have to.
Yeah.
Like, not just,
Because it's wrong.
Right.
Right,
But
if
also
we
being
leave.
like, there's GPS data on all of our phones. I have crash detection on my phone, and this happened, so it's gonna show up, or
running
whatever.
Is more like
give
the
them
selfish
data.
move than anything,
Yeah.
So you have to sit there and think about the data and be like, well, it's not that easy to get away with like a murder these days,
With
Well,
all,
you've just spoken like someone who's tried. You're doing a
Right?
good job.
I know, right?
We haven't caught it yet, so
we
as
haven't
long as it's
seen
not
Rufkin
us.
in a while.
Are you a deep fake?
What about you? What would you do?
I would, my good soul, in my heart, I would confess. I would want to do the right thing, make sure that person at least got like whoever their loved ones were too got, some type of justice and peace, depending on what happened. So yeah, I would definitely.
What about?
I think the interesting thing, as you brought up, Dawn, is the thought process behind the whole thing of like, I think it's easy to look at the overall ramifications, and we're such selfish people just by nature that's what
I don't want my life ruined.
Exactly. It's like, I don't want my life ruined while somebody else loses theirs. So I think looking at it from that perspective, especially, again, going back to your class situation, like those are the things where it's like, well, we have to be these perfect people, and we're these amazing standout people, even though you were in the middle of the road and that's what caused this problem in the first place. Like, you didn't listen to the,
I wanted to smack him upside the head.
And so it's those things where I'm like, man, I don't know what it's like to be that kind of rich, but the fact that Teddy's dad could just
literally erase a murder.
That's one of the things where I'm like, man, if your dad can do that, then why not say, hey, yo, this happened. Like, I was there, I witnessed it, like, I wanted to watch the fireworks. And so
tell your dad, and then, like, if your dad does something, your dad does something.
Yeah,
you can't control your parent.
It's still the right thing to do.
Correct. And I think that's I think that's the right thing to do. And it would make for a horrible movie, but
yeah, that's fair.
No.
Yeah, then it becomes like a what do they call those, the police procedurals? Yeah. It's not a horror movie anymore; it's a police procedural.
Yeah.
Going back to my statement about the class thing, like if we had taken the same premise, right, the same characters, the same situation, and everything. But in that moment where Teddy's like, I told my dad, he's taking care of it, they called the police, blah, 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 blah. And then you have a bigger shift where Ava pushes back more. You have a different movie. And you could make it more exciting because then you have Ava and Stevie and they're bonding. And then you can see a little more like drama as far as like how they're interacting and how they're trying to like justify things. And then maybe Stevie still is a killer, but then like you get like these cool shots where she like hesitates or, I mean, like if they pushed more against the clash, I think it would have been a more rewarding movie.
It's so interesting though, like if you're that mad and you're gonna murder your friends, why are you waiting that long?
True.
Well, and it's because, like, on the one hand, if we take ourselves outside of a writer wrote the plot that way as the answer.
Correct.
The reason Tyler got killed is because Tyler understands true crime and is just demanding to find an answer. So she's going to dig. Yeah. And she's going to find out who and why and what. So, like, yes, I get why we kill Tyler.
Do you? So interesting thought with that. Do you think if Tyler isn't introduced to the friends, she still dies?
If they find out that there's a true crime podcaster in town, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I do, because she's a threat.
You said you had some stuff to say on the podcast.
Okay, I do. Yeah.
I want to hear this.
Here's the deal. I am a fan of true crime as a genre.
Dun dun.
However, my chosen brand of true crime is very different than the brand purported by Tyler. So Tyler's is killer-centric, where you kind of idolize the killer. I prefer true crime that is victim-centric. That it celebrates the lives of the people that lost theirs, that it focuses on them, what happened to them. Because to me, true crime is fascinating because I don't want to be that story. Yeah. So I want to know how somebody got killed. So I know I can't avoid it, but like that part of my mind that's like, well, if I always lock my door and I keep a pocket knife and like you try to think of the ways you aren't that.
Correct.
That to me, it makes that part of my brain feel like I have some semblance of control when I really don't. Right. But I also like it should always center the lives that were lost and the victims first, and then the killers shouldn't be celebrated. In my mind. Yeah. And so Tyler's podcast is the antithesis of what I love about true crime. Because you can do true crime in a way that you celebrate the victims' lives as the people they were and the futures they had stolen from.
Right.
And you can still cover like the terrible things the killer did without celebrating the killer. And Tyler was this camp, not the camp I prefer.
Yeah.
And so like I can see why potentially that's the story that got told. We picked that as a writing team because then you aren't as sad when you lose her.
Right.
But when you combine that with the fact that she's a sapphic woman, and then you put that all together and you're like, well, now she's dead. It's like, okay, well, did you kill her because she's having sex with Ava? Or did you kill her because she had a
podcast?
A podcast that like, why did you kill her?
Right.
I mean, and so it's like, because that all got tied up.
She kind of wanted to be a part of the friend group, I think. So that was the hard part, right? So Tyler, when she was introduced to the friend group, it's like she automatically became a victim. And it wasn't really like it wasn't anybody else's choice, but they have to get rid of like the people that know and have the evidence and then has like this podcast and they're seeking out these like thrillers. So I think.
But like Wyatt wouldn't have gotten in the way. I mean, I'm glad he died. It's one of those things they did in Final Destination. They did in, I know what you did last summer. They do it a lot in horror movies, is they give you someone that you unequivocally hate. They're like, patriarchy, the guy, he's a big jerk. And then you're like, yes, he died, ha! Because then, it feels a little good if you have that one boss that's kind of a turd.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's kind of like that guy. But like, it does feel good to just see the bad guy lose because a bunch of people are going to die.
Right.
So you're like, please let it be that one, not this nice person. But also like, Wyatt was so busy falling down a bottle, he wasn't going to notice anything. And what about that bath bomb? Oh my gosh.
Oh, color of the
She's
blood
upstairs with a blood bath bomb. Just the fact that you have, like, as a human with a uterus that ejects blood once a month, I never want bath water to be blood red.
So instead of Tyler, what about, his name was Wyatt, right? Yeah. Why Wyatt too? Like, because he was a part of the friend group because he married into with Danica. Well, and he was such an innocent person who didn't.
That begs a good question though, because it's like, what was...
They started on the outside.
Right, wait, what was the full motive with that though?
I know.
To punish the friends? You have to watch the people you care about die.
But if you're gonna, I guess, but why wait a whole year?
I know.
I guess because she Googled. Ray would have told her. Because Ray lived through it and he's like, and a year after, you have to imagine.
Is it because Danica was finally happy? And then they wanted to take...
Happy,
but was she happy? Yeah, that's the good question because then look how quickly she went back.
To Teddy.
Yeah.
So
Teddy was gone right after.
So I think that's the interesting thing.
I feel it's because Ray was like, because Ray probably had told her the story already before all of this happened.
It.
And then like they're probably drunk one night at the bar. Like, you know what? Those stupid jerks. We ought to fisherman them. Oh yeah, like that story. That's not how Stevie talks. But like,
Yeah.
Because he had to have told her about it beforehand.
Yeah. Right.
Had to have. Like, the town knows.
Yeah. Who was everyone's favorite character? Since we're talking about them.
I think Julie was my favorite character.
Julie?
Julie,
yes,
yeah.
Of course.
I mean,
absolutely.
Julie is awesome.
She looks so good in her blazer. She was like, I'm a professor. I loved it. In her Cure t-shirt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite character.
I think mine was Ava because I really love strong women when it comes to horror movies.
Yeah, she was always trying to do the right thing.
Always trying to do the right thing. And like for me, I always feel like that person that I'm like, okay, if I'm going to be in a horror movie, I'm going to get killed right away.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, like I'm going to be
Not
that
even
person.
by the killer. I'm going to trip and fall.
Yeah, trip and fall, break my leg, and then it's just an easy, it's like it's done for. So I'm like, I like watching those inspirational, powerful, strong women.
No, I can see that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really don't know if I have a favorite character in the movie.
No.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Rufkin says they're all trash.
No, I think there's so many people that it's relatable to. I think.
Yeah. Poor Milo. We haven't mentioned him.
I think the hard part with Milo though is
he was finally going to get back back together with her.
Yeah, but when you
Womp womp.
how long like
My phone charger. He just had a battery bank. He would have lived.
that's you know.
No, he wouldn't have. He
I
would
think the hard part with Milo is like, what are you doing, bro? You know, like this is what you've been googly eyed for multiple years about.
Yeah.
And then you finally have that moment.
and she's
you're
like, choke me.
yeah, and it's like, why are you walking all the way outside?
think
Like, why
he
can't you be
needed
like,
some
hey, I
cool
need some
air.
cool air, and then you have sliding doors?
What
like,
was that?
I'm sitting here like, okay.
I just want to buy eggs again.
Facts. No, I think, yeah, Milo's death was what for sure made me go, yeah, this can't be Stevie.
I think Teddy's and his father's death was like the worst. It was so
That
brutal.
was brutal.
I think Teddy's was the most brutal. It makes
But
sense.
his father though with him.
So, but here's the part though.
But
Like,
they're the ones killing that town. Like killing the
Yeah.
fishermen.
correct. And so that makes sense for Ray. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, bro, Teddy's muffing this dude up.
Wait, what?
Like he's beating him up bad. Like he's
Oh, okay. I was like, Teddy's muffin. What's a muffin?
he's
I'm not familiar with this.
he's messing them up.
Yeah.
Like he's taking hits, but he's
Dude.
he's landing hits that I mean like
I
that's
would've gone
that's the
down.
part for me that I'm like, okay, is this even human? Because I'm thinking of it from a realistic standpoint, and they did a very
you think
good
he was
job.
wearing like a football
Right.
gear under it or
They
something?
did a good job
Yeah.
portraying like the blood, and I
Yeah.
mean, you even see Ray with the cut, and that's
Yeah.
why.
That's what blew it.
So I think those are the things where I'm like, man, no, Teddy's taking this person down.
Yeah.
If that's
But it was just like too many quick stabs.
yeah,
Mm.
but
no.
and it was interesting. I think if I had to say anybody, I'd say probably Milo was my favorite.
yeah, he just missed his opportunity. That's all.
Yeah, I
He-
think that there was I mean Julie's dope, but Julie's Julie. I mean like I think that's always going to be kind of the hero of the franchise.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say as much as I wanted to smack Teddy upside his head, that like when he's crawling up the lawn and he sees his mom and like she turns toward him and you think for a second she's going to see him and she's like on the phone or whatever, and then she turns away and he's just calling for, because like it doesn't matter how old you are, like there are those moments in your life where you're like, the thought of your parents is so comforting because you're just like, you'll save me. And for Teddy, that's all they've ever done because that boy cannot do anything on his own. He's like, my engagement blew up. Daddy, can you give me a boat? Like, that's all that happens for him is his parents fix it. And so like in that moment, like he needs them more than he's ever needed them in his life. And they don't notice.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was a little bit, no, he didn't deserve it, but like a little bit of that petty side of you that can't afford to buy eggs is like,
Well, and he was the instigator too, you know, in the beginning. So like if it wasn't.
if he wasn't acting like a fool in the middle of Reaper's Curve, which they literally drive on that in the first movie.
They do.
They
yes.
do. Yeah. I mean, it
Oh,
doesn't.
and the float. Remember the float?
Yep,
We brought
the
that
float
up.
was
right?
there.
Sick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, so that leads me, I guess, to the next question that I have is what was your favorite part in the movie? Because for me, it was that float scene.
Nostalgic
The-
moment.
Oh, when he's like up on top of it and she's hiding under it?
What was the why can't I think of the pageant where she's
Oh, yeah. Where
Miss,
Helen Shivers gets
yes.
crowned like Miss Croker, I think
yeah,
it is.
yeah. And so it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
it's a cool
And that was the t-shirt Tyler wore.
main
That's right.
like one of the main female character roles. And so
Yeah.
it was that fun thing where you had Julie and Helen, and they, as similar as they were also very, again, stark differences in class.
Yeah.
And so then now you have Danica and you have Ava, and you're just like, the stark differences of the class.
Right.
But it's the two higher class women that are
Yeah.
on the float
Yeah.
that are in this world, and so to me it was a very cool callback to the very 1st one where it was like, oh wow, this is the float. Like it was
there
just
were
a
a lot
very
of those same beats.
and then to have Helen back.
Yeah, in that like dream
scene.
sequence.
I
It
know.
was so cool because it was like, whoa.
And then the blood starts pouring
Yeah.
out from under her crown.
I know.
How cool is it to live in today's age where CGI doesn't look
Like garbage.
completely bad? I
Yeah.
thought that was a really cool thing.
Yeah,
So-
it was cool.
But that was my favorite part of the movie.
Okay, so speaking of some of the deaths, so while the original movie, I think they actually shot like on location. This movie, the 2025 one, they actually shot mostly in Australia. And so that they kind of used that to their advantage because they were like, well, Teddy's dad is he's trying to like bring the town up to date and like, yay, gentrification, all right, it'll be good. But anyway, so they use that to their advantage. So Southport looks different now because of Teddy's dad and his
Gotcha.
realtor empire.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they're in Australia, and the director was talking about how they had a decent budget, but not shut down the harbor budget.
Right.
And so they were shooting, and every time a ferry would go by, they would have to like block off their fake dead bodies with like this like thing to cover it up. So at one point, and they just kept doing it. It was like no big deal. It was like just stop shooting, okay, and go back. And then at one point, all of like the producers, like everybody is like grabbing umbrellas and like going the extra mile. And the director's like, what's happening? And she looks over and a ferry's going by full of elementary school children. So they were like, we gotta get it! So I have a picture of it because that's hilarious. So I'm gonna.
Oh,
That's-
wow.
They're
Yeah.
trying to like block off. Remember
That-
when those bodies were hanging?
Yes, when it was Teddy and his dad. And
Yep,
they
exactly.
hung Teddy's dad just like Jaws. I don't know if you realized
Oh yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh.
The way that that Jaws was hung
Yes,
up.
that's why I said that theirs was like the most brutal death to me in
Yeah.
the movie because it was just so like I was taken back. I was like, man,
These are some big fish we caught.
yeah, they were.
Oh my nice. So Ava hooked up with Tyler after the plane ride, and that's when Tyler told her podcast name, Live, Laugh, Slaughter. So if you had to name your true crime podcast, what would you name it?
Man, this is
And you
tough.
can't name it Horror Hot Takes. That one's taken.
I know. Man,
We don't have merch.
I know.
It's just for us. But if you want some, let us know.
Yeah,
we'll think
we-
about it.
Stickers.
Stickers.
We're creative people. We make
decals,
stuff.
Yeah.
Shirts, you name it.
If I had to name my true crime podcast.
Or if you were going to have a completely different podcast, tell us what it would be and what you would name it.
Mine would be probably Talks with Oso Jerica.
Oh, okay. And what would it be about? Like you just
Just conversational, something, whatever, like type
interesting
of
people.
theme. I love to like research a lot and like see like what's the new thing that's driving everybody out there. Like if it's a Labubu or if it's gonna be Pokemon cards, anything that's like going viral. I love talking about stuff like that and
So
just
you're, like,
researching vinyls.
the front and center of pop culture. Like whatever's-
Yes. Anything like that. Like Chapel Roan just came out with her new Subway song, and she launched a 7-inch vinyl, and I'm on the hunt for it. So
Oh dang! I gotta watch for that now.
I know.
We got the Midwest Princess one, but we don't have this new thing. So.
Yeah, I know. So just stuff like that. That's what
Okay.
I'm still drawing a blank.
Dude, I don't. Okay, I would probably name it something nonsense, like Okay, so one of my best friends, her username for everything was Unicorn Butt Toots.
I love that.
It's good. So I would name it something nonsense like that, where like, no matter who you are, you would be helpless to not click it because you're like, what would this be? And then we would just talk about like nonsense
I like
love
that.
it.
and just like no, like you don't have to be anything in particular. Like whatever's on your mind. Like let's just have a good time. Doesn't need to be anything. Just let's.
I think it would be probably It Takes One to C4J9. That'd probably be the name of my
That's good.
the name of my
Yeah.
podcast, and it would be a discussion about the patriarchy and how they compare to energy drinks.
Oh.
You know?
Okay.
So,
Would you bring colonialism into it?
well, nothing's off the table.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that you're leaving room for growth.
You know, because if we just similar to I know what you did last summer. If you don't learn from your past, your past repeats itself.
I know.
It
And
does.
so I think
That's
if you're
another
not
hot
willing
take.
if you're
That
not
is true.
willing to talk about things, even though they're uncomfortable and even though they may be hard,
Yeah.
you're never going to learn from it. And I think that's what Julie did, kind of bringing it back in. I think that's what Julie was trying to do, and her, looking at the end of the movie, her having that relationship with her college roommate still, and being
Yeah.
able to say like, "Hey, I know we went through a lot of trauma. We're gonna have to
We're
go
gonna
through
do
it
it again. Yeah.
Right.
But I think going back into that, there's a line in the movie that really bothered me, and it was the Ava and Danica, and they're walking out from the hospital, and it was like, man, if only men could just go to therapy. And I think that's the big problem is, looking at how much we don't talk about our past and how much we let that just sit and fester inside of us, and we're repeating it because we are creatures of habit, and even if it's traumatizing, it's easier to fall back into the known versus the unknown. And going into that therapy world,
Right.
it's like, if they have a safe space to discuss this stuff, if they have a safe space to talk about those things, then they don't have to repeat it, and then you don't end up with Ray that's like, well, this is what happened in my past. Let me help you because this is what, I
Right.
think those are the things
Like
where
when he was like yelling at Julie, he's like, "Why would you tell them to just go kill the person?"
And
And
it's-
you're like, "That's weird. Why would you
Yeah.
say that, Ray?"
But, when they say men should go to therapy, I don't know why they didn't generalize it, because Stevie was also a part of that, so she needs to go to therapy too.
Oh,
you know?
everybody needs to
Everyone
go
needs
to
therapy.
therapy.
if, if Stevie
Let's
goes
not
to
wrong.
therapy and starts talking about that's
Maybe she brings it up for Ray.
yeah.
It does remind me of this SNL skit where they were like, I in my mind it's therapy, but it might also be doctor visits. I can't remember. But it was like basically the skit was they're setting up a podcast studio and the men go there to go to the doctor, go to therapy or whatever.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, we found that if we just tell them it's a podcast, they'll come in. And I was like, that's good. That's good. I like that. If our society didn't focus so heavily on telling men that they can't have feelings, that would go a long way. Everybody has feelings.
Oh, yeah.
All of those feelings are valid, but it doesn't mean you have to act on them. Just
Correct.
because the feeling's valid doesn't mean you have to go and kill all of your friends. May I have a new card,
Yeah,
please?
I think we've got
A couple more left.
a couple more left.
I can
Don't
go.
peek at it.
Mine's super easy. So if you could rate this movie from a scale to 1 to 10, what would you rate it and why?
I'm gonna honestly, maybe it's a hot take, but I'm gonna throw this at like a 7 to 7.5. I really, even though it was like a copycat of Scream, I thought the way that they tied the group of friends together, I thought they did that very well, to the point where you understood kind of where all of the friends were in correlation to each other. They tied in Stevie very well in the beginning of how being an outcast, but then it made sense when you come back and Danica and Stevie are like best friends, and it's
And you're like, what?
but you're
What
like,
happened?
well, this makes sense because Ava's
Distance.
distant, so it's filling that
Like
void.
if
So
they're still there, yeah.
the way that they tied in how the friend group kind of made sense, I thought was great, because it just helped you understand, okay, cool, these are the through thick or thin kind of friends. And even Teddy and Milo, like with the awkwardness, you could tell they still maintained their friendship through the whole
Right.
thing. And so
Right.
I thought the way that they maintained that was very well. I loved the throwback to the nostalgic pieces of it all. Really enjoyed the cinematic portions of it too. Like the way that they hid Ray in the death of Teddy. He's in the middle of the like hall, and you're like, what the heck?
Yeah,
and
you're like,
you're
what
like
is that?
there was a lot of those things,
Does
and
he have
then
like an armor set?
Right.
Yeah, what is that?
and I will say, fun fact for everybody watching, if you watched our first podcast, if you haven't, the link is going to be below. But the gruesomeness is what I struggle with.
Yeah.
But I learned that these two struggle with the jump scares.
Yeah.
And so I think
They get 'em.
that they did that so well in this movie. And that's another piece
Yeah.
that leans into my I rated it so high is it gave you that classic, like, crap, like in Bloodlines, it was the wind. And you're like, okay, something's going to happen here. And then here it was the
Jump scares.
just complete silence. And you're like, but they did it enough that nothing happened. And you were like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. So then it left you on that edge. It built up that anticipation. And I thought that was extremely well done to add that, like, uneasy feeling, but it kept you engaged in the movie. And so I would say probably like 7 to a 7.5 is what I would rate that.
Yeah, you took mine. The jump scares. That's what really made me feel that I would probably rate this like an 8 because the ending was so good and I had no idea who was going to die. Like, I didn't know who was going to be the killer. So I was on the edge of my seat, and it was fun to sit there with Dawn and be like, every time.
Dawn was like,
I startled hard. I'm gonna split from y'all a little bit. I think I'm probably gonna give it maybe a 5, maybe a 6.
I knew it.
For the reasons I said.
Yeah,
I mean,
it makes sense.
I get it.
But all of us rated it higher than Rotten Tomatoes. It's a 36%.
Ooh.
That's not good.
No.
People probably had high hopes, right? Because the originals are always the best. And so when they remake a movie, you got to do it right. And if they are going to be adding in certain things, they got to start, thinking about their audience.
I think one of the things, because like there were a lot of things that the writing team and the director did right. Because like the director co-wrote it.
Right.
And there were a lot of things they did right. They paid homage to the original. They honored those characters. Like you were proud of who Julie became. That was one thing that like, that's why Jennifer Love Hewitt agreed to come back on. Is like, we need to be proud of who she is.
Right.
And like she had to grow up through all this. She needs to be a fully realized human that makes sense and has like gravity in the world, right? But there was like one article where they just kept mentioning over and over and over again that the movie takes big swings. And I was like, well, I got to read this because I'm not sure what the big swings were. I don't think it took big swings. I mean, that's just...
either.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think it...
I agree.
I think it stayed in the vein that it was built to be in.
Yeah.
I think going into it, expecting it to not be a throwback...
I was down for nostalgia.
Yeah.
I wanted it to comment more. It felt like sometimes some of the lines, like men should just go to therapy, or there are a few others that it's like stuff we say. And it's fine to do that. I mean, that's why it's funny. We all say it.
Yeah.
But like, sometimes it said it in earnest, and sometimes it said it and it was like wink, wink. But like, it couldn't decide which it was.
Right.
And then when it was saying something, it didn't ever, like the movie didn't set the record straight.
Yeah.
Correct.
Like if the characters are like, oh, I wish men would go to therapy, then the movie needs to be like, but really, let me tell you, like men should go to therapy.
Yeah.
Words
like, it's
matter,
important.
they do.
So it's like the movie didn't serve the morals that I think we wanted to see it serve. It took a cheaper path. And I mean, that's fine. It was a romp. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah.
But it's hard to not compare it to Final Destination Bloodlines.
Yeah.
It both came out, within a 5-10 year
span.
period of time. They were both like, I mean, that one technically wasn't 90s, but like in that time frame, like if you're a millennial, you grew up watching it, and you think about it fondly when you think of horror or anything like that. I mean, if you watched one, odds are you watched the other. So like them being made the same year, it's really hard to not compare and contrast it.
Completely.
And everything that Final Destination Bloodlines did that made it absolutely a phenomenal film, and it was fresh and it was entertaining and it kept you guessing, was because They paid homage to the nostalgia, but they also pushed that envelope.
Correct.
And they commented on things that needed to be commented on.
Correct.
Right.
They set the record straight on stuff that should have been mentioned previously.
Yes.
So that's all I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I will say, if you've watched the movie already, please feel free to leave a comment on what you would rate it and why.
Yeah. I mean, whether you agree with us, you disagree. If you're like, it's a 1, tell us why. Like,
Yeah.
Even if it's just a bunch of fire emojis. I mean, I get it.
Yeah. We love it. We love when you guys interact with us.
So box office. So their budget was estimated about 18 million. Okay. So decent budget.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is the 1997 movie, their budget was 17 million.
Oh, wow.
So, like, adjusted for inflation, they had a bigger budget comparatively. So it's obvious that Sony, because this was a Sony picture, that they were like, yes, but we're not gonna give you a huge budget. We want to hedge our bets. And so domestically, up through yesterday, so the day before recording, domestically the budget is like 27.4 million. Worldwide is 49.4 million. Worldwide, including domestic. So I mean, it's been a hit, but not as runaway a hit as Final Destination Bloodlines was. So it wasn't quite as big of a hit. I mean, pretty big difference as far as like the critical rating.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, they've set it up perfectly for a sequel.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Okay, so I got one more. That's the last one.
Ooh.
All right. What death caught you off guard the most in the movie?
Stevie's.
Stevie's?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, Stevie's.
She didn't die.
I know. Yeah, you're right. But
Were you
I
startled
thought,
that she didn't die, or
I
you were
think-
startled that he shot her?
I was startled that he shot her and that she didn't die.
Yeah.
And that she flew off like the front of like the boat, and then it was like, what happened?
Because like if you don't see the body, it usually means they're
Yeah,
alive.
like Stevie and like also Danica's too, like in the same
Is she a
realm.
mermaid? Like,
Maybe
you
I
just
took
magically
she is
are
a mermaid.
way out,
Yeah.
way out offshore, and then you just
Woo!
She probably
here.
fell on Rose's door from Titanic.
Yeah.
And just floated
there
her
was
way
room
in.
for Jack.
Yeah,
There was room for Jack.
always.
The one that probably caught me off guard the most was the dad. I didn't
Yeah.
expect that. I
You
didn't
thought
expect.
it was just going to be
Yeah,
Teddy?
I thought it was just going to be Teddy. Like you're watching, to your point earlier, Teddy's screaming out for help, and
Yeah.
I didn't expect that. I thought that was the one, not necessarily the worst death in there, the way they hung up the bodies, to the point of the photos, but it was pretty gruesome. But that one caught me off guard because I'm like, dang, I saw Teddy. Like, it was the friend group that was dying. I didn't see.
I know he was holding his kid, you know,
and then
holding Teddy, and then Teddy passes, and then boom.
Yeah, because even the rich people love their kids sometimes.
I would hope
Not
so.
always, not always.
I know.
Some messed up stuff out there, y'all.
Yeah.
I thought Judah's was super brutal, but didn't catch me off guard.
No.
Like the minute they showed that, I was like, he's not praying. That guy's dead.
Yeah.
That guy's so dead. He's so dead. I feel like they telegraphed those deaths. Like, because it was like, oh, you separated from the group. You're
Oh, yeah.
Milo, I'm gonna
Yeah,
go out to my car. What
Yeah.
an idiot.
I need my phone charger.
Idiot.
You have to stay in a group
And
always.
the whole thing was Danica was like, nobody sleeps alone.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I need fresh air. Oh, okay, cool. Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, go ahead, go out to your car. You're gonna die.
Yeah.
And-
I was caught off guard because I thought Teddy was going to die on the float.
Oh.
I did think they were going to get him on the float.
Okay.
And then I was a little surprised that Danica got caught under the float. I was like, she's safe.
well,
Briefly.
the way her head just ding. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, well, she did. See ya.
She did.
Like, that's it. Thinking about it right now, how many of the murders do you think were actually Stevie?
Okay, so
Ooh.
obviously Teddy and his dad were Ray.
Correct.
Jonah had to have been Ray.
Correct.
I think
Milo had to have been Ray.
Yeah.
There's no way that Stevie is that strong to literally leave that
So
type of imprint by
Stevie-
choking out and breaking his
Yeah.
neck.
Wait. Was he in the car when
Yeah.
he got killed? I don't know, because she could get behind Like if you're against the car seat and you pull.
But then dragged his body.
Yeah. I think Stevie killed Tyler.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because
That's
you can
one.
use a pulley and you
Yes.
could get Tyler. Definitely
Yeah.
Tyler. And she would have been the one most likely to trap Ava to keep her safe.
Correct.
Right.
So that Ava's not in the way because she didn't want to accidentally have to kill her.
But that was, like you said, like our first murder. And so Stevie ended up needing help after that because...
So do you... Oh, okay. New line of questions.
Right?
So do you think Stevie started this on her own and then pulled Ray into
Yes.
it?
Ooh.
She was
I
like,
do.
I started this. I don't want anything to happen to Ava. I need your help. There's
And
no
then-
way I can go after Teddy.
And then he went into protective mode. I promised your dad I would take care
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah, because I don't want you to get killed.
Yeah.
Unlike
and I don't want
maybe
you
was
doing this
like,
alone.
don't do this,
So
don't do this. I'm gonna do it with
that-
or without you.
I think that would make sense too because he kills Teddy's dad.
Yeah.
You know, like Teddy's
'Cause
dad wasn't
Teddy's
even
dad, that would have been Ray's vendetta.
Well, that exactly because Ray wants the town to stay as much the same as possible.
Yeah, he wants his job, and for his fellow fishermen, like that's his community. You don't want your community to be under attack.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
because of, I think, Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The rich guys. It's under attack by the rich guys. Grant Spencer. Okay, I was right. It was
Yeah.
Grant. Yeah. So it had to have been, I feel like it had to have been Ray that killed Danica, because otherwise Stevie, I mean, whoever it was got bodied by Teddy.
Yes.
But I don't think it was Stevie, because they punched through that float. And that felt like a Ray punch through the float. I mean, Stevie was lifting a bunch
Ray
of bottles
had
of
to
beer,
have been the
but
more-
still.
The more
Like-
brute strength to kill all the friends.
Because I mean, I'm definitely all for women can do things that men can do, but also body mass matters
matters,
in
yeah.
that situation.
Yes.
When you're punching through
When
a
you're
float.
punching through floats to kill your friend
Or I mean,
from high
even
school.
like the hook.
You know
through,
how it is.
The hook through
Oh.
Grant's neck. That's not super simple either.
That takes a lot of
because
strength.
then if you look at the way
if
that
you hit like a jawbone or
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta get
and
in
then
what I thought I'd be doing today.
the
out the throat.
evidence though of like how Stevie hooked Danica on the boat.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of movement. It's not like
I feel like
she
that had to have
picked
been
her
a
up, like-
practiced.
Yeah.
But that had to have been a practiced. Like she would have had to practice that
yeah,
hook.
yeah.
So whether it was like, because like in the first movie they show that weapon, that tool. Technically, it's a tool before you start killing people. That like you grab big blocks of ice with it to keep the fish fresh. Wow, I nailed it. I was really worried I would tangle up those words. Fish fresh. But anyway, and so like it was for moving ice, because otherwise, like, how are you gonna move these literal big blocks of ice?
Yeah.
And then like in the fisherman community, I could see them having big blocks of ice around. Stevie would probably only come into contact with it if like Ray was using that for like packing fish at the
Yeah.
bar or for beer or whatever. I don't know. But like she would have had to have practiced. That's a very specific tool. And it looks really unwieldy in certain shots.
Yeah.
Like it just looks dumb in certain shots. I mean, like it looks lethal, but like it is not a weapon built for that purpose.
Yeah.
You would want more of a pirate hook,
Yeah.
like, you know.
Captain.
Well, does anybody have any other parting
guess-
thoughts
Yeah, what would your final thought be?
before I got hooked in the throat?
No,
Should have worn different underwear.
what would be your final thought on if we're gonna get another one next summer?
Ooh.
I don't know. There was a 1-year turnaround with the first one. It's possible.
It better be better.
It better be better.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Jerica,
gonna say.
2025.
Yeah, it better be better.
be
Got
better.
that? I did one of my favorite things, and I shouted in the theater, was I did love Teddy's Nicole Kidman AMC reference.
Yes.
Where he was like, "We come to this place for magic." It was just a bummer that our regular AMC that we go to, the AC was out. We had to go somewhere else.
Oh, I know.
Because we missed our Nikki K.
Yeah.
We come to this place.
Yeah.
So, but that one made me really happy.
Yeah, but we appreciate you all. feel free to leave your hot take of I Know What You Did Last Summer. If you have a hot take that correlates from the first one to the second one, or
Which movie did you like better?
yeah, which one did you like better?
Right.
We would greatly appreciate it. And also, if there's any movies you would like to have reviewed, if there's some of your classic favorites that you want us to talk about, we are here for that.
We're open to suggestions.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We give in to peer pressure so easily. But with that, we'll see y'all next time.
Thank you guys.
Bye,
Appreciate
everybody.
it.
I've been holding in a fart.
Oh my God. Woo!
We
Did you get that?
We did it.
Did you get her? Can we
Nice.
Can we put that on there?
Maybe. Yeah.
I've been
Put it at
holding
the end. I've been holding in a fart.
I would love that so much.
Oh. Fire, fire, alert, alert. Are you a transformer? Is that what you do before you transform and kill us all?
It's back up and running now.
Head on over, baby.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Banana farts. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
You and I. Very nice. Okay.
I tell you,
You weren't wrong. She sings good.
She done good singing.
She done good singing.
She said,
She
"Hello,
sang so good, she might just sing gooder.
my name Dreka. Dreka Palmier, and I'm content. Wanna put an on cunt."
What? Did you understand that? I sure
I
as hell
did
didn't.
not.
Hell yeah, they don't call me Donatella. Tell you something? Donatella, you something